Hello, everybody, and thank you very much, Jack, for this lovely introduction into Slovenia and to introduction to me. My name is, as Jack said, Tine Mur, and I used to work for Slovenian Tourist Board as their employee in London, in UK, where I am at the moment as well. But now I'm working for them also in the US as a contractor, and I'm delighted to talk with American audience, which we all love very much in Slovenia. And love is the word which you're gonna hear a lot today, because this is actually the story of Slovenia, the story of love. Slovenia is one of the youngest European countries. We are independent since 1991 and a member of European Union with Euro as our currency. There are about 2 million Slovenians, so the 2 million citizens of Slovenia, and we live on a surface which is slightly smaller than, for example, in US, let's say like New Jersey. It's the green heart of Europe and well connected with many European cities. As you can see, it's only about 2 hours drive to Venice, which has direct flight to US, for example, or about 4 hours to Budapest. It's also only 2 hours flight to London. All of Slovenia is relatively small country. It's extremely diverse. It's where the Alps meet the Mediterranean, and the karst, which is a special type of ground you can see on the bottom left corner, meets the Pannonian Plain. Whichever European guidebook you will take, apart from maybe the northern ones, you will see in Central European guidebook you will find Slovenia. In West European guidebook you'll find Slovenia. East Europe, Slovenia as well. South Europe, Slovenia as well. Slovenia was a natural meeting point throughout the history. So everybody you can imagine who dominated Europe went through Slovenia, from Romans to Napoleon to everyone. But let me share you now the story of Slovenia as the green, active, and healthy country. The first thing when you come to Slovenia, you would notice how green it is. The green color will follow you everywhere. Where more than half of the country is basically covered by forests, parks, and nature reserves. Slovenia will definitely charm you with all shades of green. For example, now we are getting into the month of May, and the month of May is one of my favorite months in Slovenia, because everywhere you go you see just the nature blooming, and it's just beautiful. And as I said, welcome to one of the 5 greenest countries in the world according to the EP index. Last year, for example, during the ITB in Berlin, Slovenia was declared as the winner of the World Legacy Award from the National Geographic Society, which is given to the companies, organizations, or destinations encouraging sustainable tourism. Slovenia won the Destination Leadership Segment Award, which is a big recognition of how we deal with our nature. Green forests in Slovenia embrace the country and its people. For example, did you know that we have one of the most forested and water-rich countries in Europe? 60% of the country, as I said, is covered by the forest. Anyway, in Slovenia, you are basically close to protected nature area. Slovenia is home to more than 22,000 animals and plants. For example, beekeepers put beehives in the middle of meadows, and beekeeping is a big thing for Slovenians. And our government even managed to establish the United Nations will declare now National Bee Day, which is going to be soon in summer. Slovenia has a green heart. A walk along the virgin forest trails in Kočevje amazes everyone. So many majestic and old trees. And wood, timber is one of the biggest natural treasures of our country. For example, why not trying innovative and recently developed tourist products called Forest Selfness, where you can get closely into touch with nature. You can even sleep in Slovenia under the treetops and feel as a bird with your own nest high above the ground in one of the eco-friendly resorts. Or you can declare yourself as being a luxury traveler and decide for luxury, glamorous boutique camping or glamping, which has become a very, very trendy way of sophisticated holidays. And it's becoming a big thing in Slovenia as well. Slovenia even developed its own certification scheme according to international sustainability standards. The National Program Awards, for example, we award the greenest destinations every year and give them the special certificate, and this offers them a better opportunity for promotion as well. On the picture, you can see people cycling through our capital city. This is the heart of our capital city, Ljubljana. Well, now we are already green and we felt the greenness, how green Slovenia is. Let's move to the healthiest part of Slovenia. And healthy that we have to unwind the bubbling story of Slovenia. Why bubbling? You will see so. You will see now. We have centuries-long tradition of natural health resources. 15 natural spas master the art of combining thermal and mineral waters with precious natural healing resources. You can indulge your senses in the modern spas and wellness centers, ranked among the best in Europe. You might know some other countries being very famous by the wellness, not far from Slovenia, but you probably didn't know that Slovenia is among the best in Slovenia in Europe. For example, springs of healing mineral water enrich many different parts of Slovenia. In Rogaška, one of the spa resorts, mineral water called Donut MG is known worldwide as the highest magnesium content water in the world. And it's been so popular that people from all around the world come there to try to test it. And we all know how important magnesium actually is for our body. But if you prefer still water, you can find it anywhere. Did you know, for example, that European Green Capital of 2016, our capital city Ljubljana, is one of the few capitals with drinking water in a public drinking fountains? Not many other cities can offer you this. But make sure, of course, to taste traditional dishes as well. In last couple of years, Slovenian culinary was booming around the world. We had the world best female chef till now for last year, Anna Roche, and for example, every Friday from May to October, even earlier now in April as well, you can find the best Slovenian and international chefs at the so-called open kitchen market in Ljubljana. Famous potica cake, this is the cake you can see on the picture. It's not one to be missed. Potica cake is the national cake of Slovenia, practically. This one is very big on the picture, but if you come to Slovenia, you have to taste it. It's so delicious. Slovenia has been tasty and inspiring. For example, the name of capital city, Ljubljana, sounds like the beloved one in Slovenian. Ljubljana, the beloved one. You will love the view from Ljubljana Castle, which is one of the best spots to see Slovenia, Ljubljana, and the Alps behind, as you can see on this picture. And right on the top of the castle, you have some amazing restaurants like this one, Strelec, the Archer, and where you can enjoy the perfect view all around the country and having the capital city under you, and it's just so beautiful. But if you like to read, why don't you try the library under the treetops? It's another great spot to take a moment for yourself in the summer. So you have library, you have books available for you. You can sit, enjoy it, and maybe take some 10 as well. Well, we said Slovenia is green, active, healthy. So let's move to the active part. Every Slovenian lives only short walk away from green hills and mountains. That's actually true. In Slovenia, you are never a couple of minutes away from a local hill or green spot when you can go for a run, for cycling, or something like this. On a picture, you can see Tivoli Park, which is the main park in Ljubljana, our capital, and it's basically the largest green area in the Slovenian capital, and it's basically just a few steps from the city center. So if you're in city center, you can go for a stroll or for a run. On the picture, you can see even a mascot of Ljubljana, the Ljubljana Dragon, running with with our runners. The ancient Greek hero Jason navigated this river to reach Ljubljana. It's the river Ljubljanica, more than 2,000 years ago. But today, Ljubljana is also known as an architectural gem. The most famous Slovenian architect, Jože Plečnik, some of you might know Jože Plečnik because he done a lot of things in other European cities such as Prague, but his baby, his masterclass was always Ljubljana. And he basically shaped its character of the 20th century Ljubljana. In Slovenia, there are many other green places. For example, the Discover European Destination of Excellence, which is a European program, has a lot of destinations recognized throughout the country. On the picture, you can see Goriška Brda in the west part of Slovenia, practically on the border with Italy. And no, it's known as the Tuscany part of Slovenia by its amazing wines and beautiful, beautiful scenery. And Brda has this award as well for the sustainable development and the character of the destination. But we also warmly invite you to experience colorful cities with stunning history and romantic atmosphere. Nearly every town in Slovenia has its own festival, and believe me, they are all special. And now we are coming into the time of festivals. So you can have a festival of chocolate, festival of peaches, festival of potato, festival of local delights. There everything going on, and it's always great fun. But we are also doing a lot on in terms of business, MICE tourism. The tourism of meetings, incentives, congresses, and events is also very creative in Slovenia. MICE facilities are easily accessible from everywhere and anywhere, because Slovenia is small, it's very central, and it can offer really, really diverse offer also in the MICE segment. But let's see the gem of Slovenia. Maybe everybody knows this picture. This is famous Lake Bled, the Pearl of Alps. It's so popular that it's been renowned for centuries, and it's so popular that many people didn't even know Slovenia. They know Bled, but not Slovenia before. But Bled is definitely the pearl of Slovenia and Slovenian Alps. And as we like to say, it creates an image of a paradise. You can see the island in the middle of the lake, and this is basically, believe me or not, the only Slovenian island. And friendly Pletna boatmen, the chap on the right side, they are the only one that are allowed to bring people to the island, and then they will bring you to the island where you can ring the wishes bell in the church. The church you can see in the middle also see here is the Church of Wishes. So everybody has to come here and wish something good for themselves. In the Alpine world of Slovenia, there are many well-maintained cycling and hiking paths. These active parts of Slovenia is very, very big. And one of the most popular resorts for active vacation is Kranjska Gora. Kranjska Gora is based on the top left corner of the country, so this would be northwest part of the country. In winter, it becomes center of attention because it hosts many famous ski competitions like Alpine Ski World Cup, or nearby it's a ski jumping World Cup. And this year it will be host for Slovenian incoming workshop as well, which I will talk about slightly more on the end. But Slovenia, Kranjska Gora is throughout the year one of the most typical and popular resorts in Slovenia. On the picture you can see actually the ski slopes on the left, and underneath you can see the village and everything. Slovenia is the land of healthy waters as well. Throughout the country, but especially in the Alps, they are crystal clear and lively. We mentioned how clear our water is, and you really has to come and experience it, because anywhere you can go, you can practically drink water from these springs. They are so clear and so clean. But when in need of a break, Slovenian mountains invite you to the huts. We have a lot of mountain huts where you can recharge yourself with fresh local products and mountain water. It goes without saying that hiking is one of the most popular activities in country. And once you're in Slovenia, you will see why, because you can enjoy every small part just by hiking or maybe cycling. During winter, Slovenia becomes a white fairy tale. It's a winter wonderland, especially the Alpine part of Slovenia. It's covered with snow, and Slovenians are basically nation of winter sport enthusiasts. We love winter sports. We love all the sports, but in winter we just love winter sports, and that's why our athletes are especially successful in the Winter Olympics. We used to have one of the best female skier in the world, Tina Maze, which is retired now, and so on and so on. There are also great cross-country skiing running trains on high plateaus in a embrace of forest covered with snow. So for those who are not into alpine skiing but like to enjoy the winter scenery, look at this. You can just come and enjoy a bit of cross-country skiing. But Slovenia is, of course, a country of great alpine achievements as well. There is an old folk tale which says that an animal with golden horn, we call it the golden horn, protects the nature and people. So you're totally safe because the golden horn will protect you. A bit of a joke. It's, of course, an adrenaline sport, but you can try all sorts of alpine sports in Slovenia. And why not climbing to the 2,864-meter high national pride Mount Triglav? It's the highest peak of the country, and it's the symbol of Slovenia. So every Slovenian that's officially almost needs to climb it. But don't tell my fellow Slovenians I haven't done it yet. I'm too busy promoting Slovenia around the country, around the world, so that's why I haven't done it yet. But I promise I'll do it soon. In summer, you will see a lot of people trying to climb this astonishingly beautiful peak. In the heart of the Julian Alps is another pearl. It's the river. It's one of the most beautiful alpine rivers in the world. This is not my expression. This is, you can read in many PR and media articles. We had it. It's called Socha River, and it's very famous by its emerald color. Blockbuster movies were filmed here, many commercials were filmed here, but especially people come to see it and enjoy all the water activities. You can do so many water sports on it, and it's especially beautiful because it's how clean it is and how specially emerald color it has. And they said you can really feel the special power and energy here. Basically, one way or another, Slovenia is definitely the greenest way to go. For example, we're becoming a known and recognized destination for golfing as well. I'm sure many of you have a lot of golfing tourists, and we are very proud to announce that Slovenia will host the International Golf Travel Market 2018. This is really this October in Ljubljana. This is one of the biggest golfing golf travel event in the world, if not the biggest. But we cannot finish the story without saying about Slovenia, without unfolding the secret of love. Slovenia is the only country in the world bearing love in the middle of its name. You can check it. You can go online, but Slovenia is the only one which have L-O-V-E in the middle of the name. On this picture, for example, you can see one of the most romantic Slovenian town is the Mediterranean Adriatic jewel Piran. It's a Venetian town, and it attracts a visitor with the narrow medieval streets and colorful houses by the sea. You might see the picture of this town before. It covers many. For example, Lonely Planets cover it. You can see Piran. So you can now understand on the size of as we said, as big as New Jersey. You have a country where you can go from Alps. We talked about Alps before, and now we are in the heart of Mediterranean. It's a very Venetian town. It's a town of Piran. Piran developed into such a beautiful city due to 700-year-old tradition of salt making. The sky, the sun, the wind, and the sea orchestrate the work of the salt pans, and you have this very, very, very quality product. It comes in a small quantity, I'm afraid, but it's a very quality product. And all Slovenians and Slovenian and many foreign chefs cherish the finest Slovenian salt called Flor du Sel. Even dark chocolate has it. You can buy this chocolate in Slovenia, and tastes much better with a slightly pinch of this white salt, white gold as we call it. But not far away from the sea, I would say about 20 minutes, maybe half an hour drive, you can find another white fairy tale. It waits for you. Those who know horses would recognize here famous Lipizan or the Lipizzaner horses. They are so elegant and strong, are born and raised in Lipica actually, which is a small village in Slovenia, and it's one of the oldest stud farms in Europe, with one of the most famous horses in the world as well. In the past, some people believed a horse could open the ground. In Slovenia, a different world opens in front of your eyes in more than 11,000 underground caves. We are proud to have the stone with a soft heart. Postojna cave, on the picture, is the most visited cave in Europe, and it's basically not far away from the Lipica stud farm we saw before. It's less than a half an hour drive, and just half an hour drive from the national airport or from the capital city. Next to it is another gem, another beautiful Scotian cave. Look at this paradise. And it's called the Scotian Cave. It's one of the UNESCO World Heritage sites in Slovenia, and we have quite a few more UNESCO sites as well. But a small country with a big heart will leave you with the sweet memories as well. You just simply have to experience the traditional Slovenian fest with prosciutto in one of the country courtyards with a green view. Prosciutto is very good quality in Slovenia, and it's very popular, especially in the Mediterranean part of Slovenia. When in Slovenia, you have to taste Slovenia. You have to feel the country with all your senses. But toast to the life with a glass of fine wine as well. Some of you can find it in the US, but some of mine you can try it when you're in Europe. Slovenia is a Europe miniature when it comes to wines, but we have some of the best quality wines recognized by the wine industry around the world. We even have the oldest vine in the world in Maribor. You can see it on the top picture. And Maribor is the second biggest city in Slovenia. We have 3 distinct wine regions, and all of them are gaining recognition around the world. But every tradition is still carefully passed to young generation in Slovenia, because they hold the key to green, active, and healthy future. We are very proud of taking our heritage further and embracing the heritage to the future generation. But it's up to you basically to enjoy now or never moment as much as possible. Anywhere in Slovenia, you will feel close to nature and far from masses of tourists. Slovenia is not a mass tourist destination. Slovenia is a gem where people choose to come and enjoy the pristine nature of what the country has to offer, even roads shaped in a heart like this. So, feel Slovenia, feel special. And for the end, I have something for you. Save the date. If you are interested in visiting Slovenia, in working more with Slovenia, we have a Slovenian incoming workshop 2018 coming soon, from June 7th to June the 9th in Kranjska Gora. I talked about this town or little Alpine village before, and you can read about Slovenia, meet Slovenian industry, travel industry, and basically explore this little gem in Europe. Trust me, it's something that you will hear more about in future, because it's still slightly new destination, but it's in the very heart of Europe. Thank you for listening, and now I might pass the microphone back to Doug to maybe let you ask some questions or whatever you prefer.
Great. Thank you, Tini. Thank you for a great presentation. As promised, Slovenia truly is a hidden gem, and one that I hope our travel agent listeners will recommend to their clients. Let me check and see what we might have for questions now. I will leave your screen up for now so people can get your information there.
Thank you.
Okay. Somebody has asked if there's going to be a link available to watch this webinar in the future, and yes, we are recording it. It will be up on our website, www.jacksfax.com, underneath the heading Agent Training. You will be able to find it there. Also, I will add that Slovenia was our cover feature destination of our November-December 2017 issue. And you can also go to our website and look under the digital library, and you can go back and reference that article. It has some great information. Let me see what else we have here. I have another question. Tina, and what is the best time to travel to Slovenia?
That's a very, very good question, and I wanted to hear this question because the diversity of Slovenia doesn't only go to diversity of the nature, or I haven't even talked the diversity of culture or our heritage, because we are the most Western Slavic country bordering Italy, which is Romanian-speaking country, and Austria, which is German-speaking country. But diversity goes also into the 4 seasons. So every season has its own character and its own charm. I would say this time where we are now, it's the best one. So May, June, July, or maybe then summer. Summer is beautiful, but it's hot as everywhere in Europe, and it's a bit more touristy. So if you can go in, let's say, late summer or early summer, it's probably going to be the best. But having said that, the winter is also very beautiful, or Christmas time, where all the Christmas markets appear, especially the one in Ljubljana and Maribor. It's also a stunning time to go. So if you would ask my personal choice, I would say go there now. My favorite time is the time of cherries, when the red cherries you can pick from the trees and the winter goes away, and kind of spring goes into summer. So this time now is the best. But then every time is good time to go to Slovenia.
Perfect, thanks. Another question, is English widely spoken and understood?
The beauty of being a small nation, a nation of 2 million, when you have your own language, is to fight for your own language, and you believe in your own language. But then on the other hand, you have to learn other languages as well. So basically everybody of the younger generation will speak English, but most of people from older generation will speak English as well. A lot of people speak also Italian or German or Croatian, but English is everywhere present and very, very widely spoken.
Great. We have a comment here. She says, I want to say I visited Slovenia in 2009. It was amazing, wonderful little country with some of the kindest, most genuine people. It's beautiful everywhere, and everyone I ever sent since going there has thanked me profusely for the experience.
Oh, wow.
So there's an unsolicited testimonial for you.
Thank you. I mean, I have to say that many Americans would fly to, for example, Venice, which is an amazing place and such a beautiful city in the world. But not many know that you can take a train or drive only for less than 2 hours and you come to Slovenia. And I sometimes, when I fly home to Slovenia, I would fly to Venice, because it's a good hub and it's so close to my home.
Great. Another question, is there a rainy season, and also what is the recommended time frame to stay in Ljubljana and Slovenia in general?
Rainy season, rain can come. In this part of the world, April or November could be the iffy months. I mean, this April now was amazing. I was almost like a summery April. We're all surprised how nice it was. But sometimes it can be a slightly more rain. Or, for example, February could sometimes be more rainy. But there is no distinct rainy. We don't have this kind of seasons, so rainy or not rainy seasons. It's more classic spring, autumn, summer, and winter. Ljubljana, what can I say? I mean, depends on how long trip you are and where in Europe you're also going. I would definitely stay in Ljubljana 2 nights at least, but I would recommend even taking Ljubljana as a hub for Slovenia, because you're in Ljubljana, from Ljubljana an hour drive, or you can basically go to anywhere in Slovenia, or let's say 80% of the country. So Ljubljana can be on its own a very, very good destination. You have a lot to do. It's a foodie destination. It's a cultural destination. It's an outgoing destination. But then it can be also a hub to go to other parts of Slovenia.
Perfect. Well, Tina, it looks like that is all the questions we have for you.
Okay, excellent.
Thank you again very much for a great presentation, and thank you for everybody that joined us today.
Thank you for this opportunity. I'm really proud to be representing my beautiful country to the great American audience and to the travel industry. And anybody who needs any information or would like to work with Slovenia more, here you have my email address. And please email me, and I will be happy to reply to you and help you work with Slovenia more.
Perfect. Thank you, Tina. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Have a great rest
Thank
of
you
the
very
day.
much. Thank you, and goodbye. Goodbye, America.